So with the 118th Congress, there is this rule where, and this would apply to Donald Trump, because Donald Trump, you know, if he's toying with the idea, apparently he can't, the article is in the New York Post this morning, Donald Trump can't be speaker right now because there is a House rule that restricts people with felony indictments from House leadership. And because he's facing all those charges, the House certainly could change it. But I was talking to somebody down in D.C. yesterday. You know, just imagine if somebody put Donald Trump's name into nomination, every Democrat would vote for Donald Trump.
Steve Doocy over on Fox and Friends has an interesting prediction for what could be in store for the House speakership, and his co-hosts seem unimpressed.
Because if you look at X right now, the White House and the DNC, they're talking about all the chaos on the Republican side with the Capitol coup.
Here's the deal. Now that we have an opportunity to elect a new speaker, I'm going to force Washington to realize and remember that the American people support President Trump. We want him back as president, so why not make him Speaker of the House, even if it's an interim speaker, while we work to find another speaker.
They would love the chaos to continue. So if Donald Trump were in nomination, every Democrat in the House would vote for him, and he only needs 5 Republicans. He could be, if they change that rule, the next speaker.
We'll see.
That would be crazy.
Yes.
After Kevin McCarthy was ousted from his position as Speaker of the House has been without a speaker. Depending on when you watch this, there might actually have been some progress on this front, with Representatives Steve Scalise and Jim Jordan vying for the position. But there looms the possibility that former President Donald Trump could also be up for the job. Whether or not he's even eligible to fill the role is debatable, but at the very least, it would be unprecedented to have a non-elected member of the House elected as its speaker. Besides Trump, Newt Gingrich, who served as the Republican speaker in the 1990s, who is currently 80 years old, has also been floated as a potential speaker. Either way, it doesn't say much for the current docket of Republicans that we currently have serving in the House, that its own members are looking outside of it for leadership. Trump has endorsed Jim Jordan for the role of speaker while still remaining open to the possibility that he could just take the job himself, but the likelihood that he would win enough votes is unlikely without support from the Democrats. Again, that seems highly unlikely. That is, unless you are Steve Doocy, who is apparently one step ahead of the rest of us. In Doocy's mind, the Democrats will vote for Trump to be speaker just because the Democrats are more concerned with creating chaos for the Republicans than anything else. That is what he thinks will happen. And maybe he was joking, it's hard to tell sometimes, and even his colleagues don't seem to be in on the joke. But even if he was, even if Doocy doesn't actually believe that this is a scenario that will actually play out, he's already planted the idea in the collective mind of his viewers. That's all it takes to instill the notion that the Democrats are the actual chaos agents in our current government, not the Republicans who called for the removal of McCarthy in the first place, not the Republicans who continue to block our military appointments, and not the Republicans who keep blocking our Senate confirmations by placing indefinite holds on nominees. For instance, we currently have no ambassador to Israel because of this. Instead, we just have a bunch of less qualified people in acting roles. But yes, the Democrats love to just create global chaos just to stick it to the Republicans. Look, no one is saying that the Democrats are perfect. No one is saying that there aren't things that we, their voters and constituents, wouldn't love to see them do more or less of. But crippling the normal functioning of government just to obstruct progress because your platform is inherently regressive is the Republican MO. And it's not like they're denying that. They're not subtle about why they do the things that they do. They know that they have an unpopular agenda. They don't care that it's unpopular. They know that they have to take extraordinary measures to win votes. They will tell you that themselves. The polls will tell you that. The Republicans have been winning elections with unpopular leaders for years, so why would they care now? In my lifetime, they've only won one popular presidential vote, and that was an extraordinary circumstance with an incumbent president in the new and very uncertain post-9/11 era. Their most extreme members often win in the most extreme red districts, or they run uncontested, or they run in districts and states that they don't even live in. The Republicans have become adept at winning unwinnable races and pushing unpopular platforms, and honestly, it's impressive. We could talk about all of that in further detail, but that feels like it'd be an entirely different video. For this video, I just want to point out the realm of possibility that people are willing to entertain in order to just make sense of the world we live in and to find solace within their own minds. This is a simple example. I can't imagine Doocy seriously believes that this is how things would or even could play out, but the desperation behind anyone who believes the unbelievable or the unreasonable or the implausible can oftentimes be a gateway to much more destructive thinking. All right, that's it for me. If you got anything out of this, please like and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to follow me on all the socials, and please check out my podcast, Modern Context. Thanks.